In addition to being able to form dictionaries from lists or entering in items and then using the thesaurus, NovaLens has a capability of forming dictionaries or supplementing dictionaries using machine learning. And you do this by not going into the NLP dictionary section, but going to the machine learning section. And it starts by first going to the data table that you're using for your analysis. So we click here, and what we can do is what we have to do is prepare a new data set. And here, let's select the table that we want to develop a supplemental dictionary around or to test one of our dictionaries against. Now, generally, it's important for you to have run a search using your current dictionaries against this table. If you don't do that, this thing will just generate a topics model for you. But what we like to do is to say, let's orient it against some of our knowns in the system first. So we've selected our table, and now we're going to give it a name of test. We're creating a new model, and that's the model to find these new dictionary terms. And we're not doing classifications or regression analysis, but rather we're going to refine dictionaries using the existing data. So we create, and the system reads through. And now we have some fields we have to fill out. Well, chunking dictionaries is how the system starts to develop the vectors it's going to use in its mathematical models. We recommend you just stick with the noun, verb, noun chunks. This works very well for this task within the system. You can develop other chunking paradigms. You could do n-grams. You can do all sorts of things. But right now, for this task, this works best. So we'll leave that there. Now, the context dictionary is how we're going to compare new terms against known noun, verb, noun pairings. And for this, let's work with terms that a dictionary such as pathology terms. Now, the next thing we want to do is compare that. We have to find the text that we're going to search against, and that's the abstracts. We don't need to have the machine check things out and run different sets of algorithms for us in this function. These are generally reserved for some of the other machine learning systems that we have in the software. So in this case, what it's going to do is a non-negative matrix factorization analysis. So what we'll do here is we'll just click update, and the system is going to now say, okay, I've got all these factors in. You can see NMF. You could change it if you wanted to some of these other ways of doing vector analysis for terms and associations. Again, this works the best. You could also mess around with the parameters if you'd like. You can go in here and do tuning, that sort of stuff. Um, Again, for dictionaries, this works great. Now we're going to create the model, and the machine's going to run. Now this may take a little bit, so I'm going to pause right now while the machine performs its task. Well, that took about 20 seconds. So let's view the final report. And what it's saying here is that, there weren't any that really matched up well with the dictionary terms. However, there are certain topics that it saw that that it thought may be of interest to us by the way they did cluster. And these are the new topics. So you could take those things, and again, some of the terms were already in our dictionaries, and now these new terms are ones that we could add to the dictionary. So the relative topic rating, 0 being the closest to what it saw in our vector space, to 2, which is terms that are slightly different if we look at the cosine similarities. And you have the decision now about whether or not you want to add them as new dictionaries or supplement current dictionaries that you have. I think the important thing to note is that there are There is a lot of specificity and context in the way the machine gives you returns and options. So that's, again, just another way that the system helps you look for terms that may be of interest to you with a bit of specificity and context based on dictionaries that you've already found or that you've already used in the system.